Welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone is healthy. Today's topic is debt. We're talking about avoiding debt, staying out of debt, and paying down your debt. Going to school, none of us are ever taught about our personal finances. The schools don't teach you how to manage a bank book. They don't teach you how to stay out of debt. It's not in their benefit to teach us that stuff. They teach us how to get a job, get a career, start working, start buying stuff you don't need, getting into debt. Don't worry, you put on a credit card, you can pay it off in 6 months or a year. So most institutions, most governments in the world, their main focus is to get us into debt. Once you get involved in debt, then they have you. You have servitude. You have to get up every morning to go to work to pay your debt. It's okay if they owe you money, but you can't owe them any money. So my advice is, if you've got debt, take your finances in order and get rid of all those debts you have. Once you are debt free, there is no greater feeling than being debt free. There's a few other things, but debt free is up there. You have less sleepless nights, less worries in your mind, knowing that you owe nobody nothing. You don't owe anyone anything, any institution, any person. So how do you get out of debt? First, you got to cut back on your expenses. You got to cut back on the things you buy, things you don't need. Focus on buying only your needs and not your wants. The only thing you need in life is somewhere to live, clothing, and food. Basically, that's all you need. Food, clothing, and shelter are the basic necessities that you need to survive. Everything else are all wants. You don't need a new car. You don't need new clothes all the time. So you got to cut back on your expenses. So they say if you want to get wealthy, you got to save 10% of your earnings, which is you can get wealthy from that. But if you can afford to save 20%, 30%, save as much as you can. The key is to save as much as you can and invest as much as you can. Because if you want to be wealthy, if you want to have a secure future for you and your family, you gotta have no debts. You gotta cut back on your debts. Only spend on your needs. You gotta cut back on your needs. And cut back on your wants. Sorry. So you gotta spend less on things you don't need. You gotta focus on spending on things you need. You gotta save and invest. Those two things. That's what the rich do. The rich save their money and invest their money. They don't spend their own money on things on their needs or wants. They spend their investments, passive income. They work, invest in certain things, and they use those certain things to pay for all their needs and wants. That's why they can stay home. That's what it says. The best form of income is passive income. The worst form of income is working income. So the worst form of income is when you have to get up every morning, go out 9 to 5 and work. Because once you stop working, the money stops coming in. But if you're making passive income, if you're making money and investing your money, real estate, stock, a whole bunch of different kinds of assets. If you invest your money and you're getting a return from that investment, that's the best form of income, because you're not working for that anymore. If you're sleeping, you're making money. If you're out with your kids having a good time, you're making money. So the best form of income is when you're not working for the money. You let your money work for you. So if you don't know these things, you gotta invest in yourself. You gotta invest in books. Buy books from people who have already been there and who are passing that knowledge on to you. Like Tony Robbins is one of my idols, because he was dirt poor. Raised by a single mother who was an alcoholic, and he was dirt poor. He went to school with the same pants every day. He had bell bottoms. He had no money. When I say dirt poor, he's like poor. But he wanted better for himself. So he did what he had to do. He read books, he took classes, he took seminars, he worked, he invested his money, and now he's one of the richest guys in America. And now he writes books. And the thing I respect about Tony Robbins is he writes a lot of books that sells a lot of books, but all the profit that he makes from all his books, from all his literature, it goes to charity. Feed America. I think one of his projects is Feed America. So all the profit from his books goes to a charity. You don't have too many people in the world that would do something like that. So he's a good person for doing that. He's giving back. He didn't forget where he came from. So I respect him for that. So you gotta invest in yourself. You gotta buy books. You gotta If you don't have books, you go online. You get free e-books online. You can listen to the audiobooks online. I'm sorry, audiobooks. It's free. If you listen to my voice right now, it means you're on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, YouTube offers free audiobooks from all the great investors who have been there, done it, and now they're passing on their knowledge to you. So no one's going to do it for you. You have to want it for yourself. So if you want a better future, a better life for your family, you have to take the initiative and go out there and do it. You know, no one's going to do it for you. No one's going to come and knock on your door and say, here's $1 million. Go and spend it for me. No, you got to make it yourself. And people who make it themselves know how hard it is to make it. So, you know. And then it's you have to invest in yourself, read books, audiobooks. You know, so that's what you're going to do. You got to invest in yourself. You got to save. No matter how much money you make or how little money you make, you can still be financially free if you invest in yourself. You know, if you make $100 a week, save, practice on only spending $80. Pay yourself first. That's it. This big thing that goes out is pay yourself first. When they say pay yourself first, they mean literally pay yourself first. When you get your paycheck, take a percentage of that money, 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever you can afford to pay all your bills. So when you get paid, the first thing you do is take your money out first. It's your money. When you get paid, the government takes their taxes first, and then they give you what's left over. They don't pay you first and ask you to pay them. They take it out first. You did all the work, you did all the sacrifice, you did all the, heavy lifting, and the first thing they do, they take their taxes out. They take their money out first and give you what's left over. So the second person who should be taking the money out of that paycheck should be you. So if you can afford 10%, 20%, what you do is you take it out first, and whatever's left over, that's what you live on. You know, right now I'm saving about 40% of my paycheck. You know, it's a lot smaller than if I was just taking the full paycheck. And I've conditioned myself to take my portion out first, invest it, some in savings, rest in investment, because you need a safety fund. It's good to save and invest, but you also have to put money aside for emergency purposes. If your car breaks down, family emergency, you need to save that money. So make a budget. 20% goes to my investments, 10% goes to my savings and emergency fund. And you just live off the rest. Just pretend the money you're taking for investment and for savings don't exist. Because if you go shopping, or you go out for dinner, or you pay your rent, once you spend that money, it's gone. You can't go back and ask for some of it back. So just do that same as your investment and savings. Put it aside, invest every month religiously. They call it dollar cost averaging, where you put some money aside, and each month, regardless if the stock goes up, if the stock goes up, all that means is you can't buy as much of the shares of the fund. But if it goes down, it means you can buy more. And in the long run, it averages out that you can't lose. So they call it dollar cost averaging, meaning when you're in the stock market, it's not timing the market that's important. It's time in the market, meaning how long you're in the market to invest. If you're in the market for like 20, 30 years, 10 years, your money will grow. The stock goes up and down. But if you know what you're doing, and you research and do your homework, you know that the market goes up and it goes down. No matter how far down it always goes up higher than where it fell from. So the smart investors wait for the stock market to hit. When people are getting panicking and selling their stocks and investments, the smart investors come in, buy everything cheap. Same thing with in the housing market. In the housing market, it crashes, people lose their homes. But even though people are losing their homes and have to walk out of their homes, there are people who step in and buy those homes at a discounted price. They sit on it for a couple of years and sell it for a higher price. Call it flipping. So don't be scared of investment. Don't be scared of when you invest in the stock market or housing. Prices will go down. When you see prices go down in any kind of investment, that's a buying opportunity. That means that's why you invest, and that's why you have money set aside for emergencies. Emergencies, if the stock market takes a dive or takes a thing, you can always use some of your emergency fund to throw into the stock. So that's how I've been doing that. I've been doing it for the last 30 years. So I've been doing it for a while. This is not a fancy video. All my videos are on the fly. Nothing is scripted. I just speak what's on my mind at the time I'm making the video. So it's not scripted. It's just plain video of one guy to another, just trying to get the word out to everyone. You got to take a hold of your finances. You got to invest in yourself. You got to, no time is too late. No time is better than the present. So, regardless of your age, you got to, if you're 50, you're 40, you're 20, the best time to do is in your 20s, when you're a teenager, because the longer you're in the market, the more money you'll make in the long run. I do ETFs, index investments. It's not an exciting investing. It's slow and steady. I'm slow and steady. And in the long run, you're going to be ahead of the persons buying individual stocks. Individual stocks is a headache. I've got friends who have bought individual stocks, and then next day they lost half their money. Once your money is gone, they say don't buy any stock don't buy anything with any money you have unless you can afford to lose that money. They say the stock market is it's a place where people go, it's a place where impatient people go to lose money, and it's also a place where patient people go to make money. So, that's it for now. Stay safe, stay well, and God bless.